Hi, welcome to Raj Nai. In today's session, I'm going to discuss about ETL process, especially in the healthcare environment. As we all know, whenever we are working on the healthcare sector, there will be a vast amount of data from various sources, including electronic health records, medical devices, clinical systems, and all everything is being used. Normally, whatever the resources, whatever are we working on, so these sources contains valuable clinical data. Hence, it is always important for us to store these in the proprietary format, wherein with non-standard code structures, etc. So for that, especially whenever we are working on the data transformation, whenever there is a legacy systems taken place, or when we are working on different healthcare programs like Medicare, Medicaid, all that, there is an immense need of ETL process, which is essentially required. So ETL, which stands for extract transformation load, which majorly diverts the kind of data sources calls for restructuring and as well as transforming medical data into the common format. Along with this, whatever the terminologies as well as the kind of establishing optimal links and all everything to other sources will also be used in the ETL process, especially in clinical data management. So when we talk about this ETL process, wherein extracting data from one or more sources, maybe different database servers or etc. Maybe you can see here, it's a data warehousing sources, all that, where it's transforming to a fit of specific format or structure and as well as loading it into the target database or data warehouses. But majorly, when we talk about ETL, the major goal is to make data usable for analysis, reporting, and as well as for business intelligence purposes. So the reason, if you see here, especially in healthcare profiles, especially for people who are applying for jobs in business analysis, all that, of course, it is required for other profiles even, but especially in reference to the healthcare BA roles and all. There are requirements nowadays coming wherein people should know about the ETL process well in advance, because understanding of data, analyzing the data, reporting, and as well as for even for business intelligence purposes and all everything is required for business analyst team to perform, because there are migration projects running on nowadays. The data migrations are taking place. We are migrating from one extent to legacy systems to the new applications, all that. So hence ETL, especially in healthcare, is something required for projects to implement, that will be required for transforming of data from one format to another. It can be of different formats, like because we use XML, JSON, right? So different formats we use. At the same time, whenever the sources of database as well as data storage and all we do, usually we use different standards like HL7, V2 formats and all that. So for this, usually this ETL process usually of three different types. You can see here, because on this, I have given this to you, right? The first one is extract. So followed by transform and load. So when we talk about extraction, wherein here, especially in healthcare projects and applications, where we will be taking raw data, which is extracted from disparate sources such as databases, files, and APIs and all that. At the same time, whatever the data extraction, which can be complex process and as it may be stored in different formats and structures and locations. For example, if I have given an example for this extraction part, especially in healthcare, whatever the data, it may be stored in different EHR systems or clinical applications. Each with its own format and as well as schema. But the major goal of the extraction stage is to gather all the relevant data which is needed for analysis and report purpose, all that. Now, when it comes to the transformation itself is concerned, wherein it needs to be transformed into a format that is consisting of usable for analysis. But majorly this stage of involves cleaning and as well as validating the data and also converting it to a format that can be easily integrated with other data sources as well. But majorly data cleaning, especially in particular, which is an essential step in ensuring the quality of data by identifying and rectifying errors and also inconsistencies within the data sets and all that. These issues can occur within standalone data collections like files and databases due to the factors such as misspellings, misinformations, and all invalid data, all that. Whenever we are working on the transformation, it may include tasks such as like data mapping has to be done. The reason why, whenever we are working on the job profiles, you can see the job profiles, you can see that very clear. Some organizations and some projects, they requires people knowledge over EDI mapping and data mapping and all. So this data mapping and data profiling and data enrichments, data consolidations, all these tasks has to be done in the stage of transformation. The major goal of the transformation stage is to prepare the data for analysis because data analyst team will be as separate, right? So because data analyst team may require, they may be using different tools, all that, right? So data analysis purposes and all, as well as for the reporting and all. Followed by this, it also ensures us to make it so accurate and complete and consistent, all that. Now the third one, which is called load, which majorly data has been extracted and transformed, wherein it is loaded into the target database or the data warehouses. You can see here. This is where we can see this, right? So because this information can be stored from ETL to the data warehouse and all that. Majorly, this store inserts the transformation of data into a structured database where it can be easily accessed as well as analyzed when and wherever it is needed, so that whatever the report generations we want to perform, everything can be done substantially. Majorly, when we are talking about the loading, include the tasks such as data aggregation and data summarizations, all that, followed by data indexing, all this. But the major goal about the loading stage is to create centralized repository of data that can be used for analysis and reporting and as well as for the business intelligence purposes, all that. So for this, there are different analytics which normally we will be using. Different analytics will be used here, or else this data mining and all, everything will also be done. Different business intelligence tools, BI tools and all, everything nowadays are be using something. Even some organizations are using even data warehousing tools for data warehousing purposes, right? So Irwin Cognos, right? So BO, business objects, all that. In reference to the data warehousing part I'm talking about. And nowadays, whenever the data which is very large, so big data, wherein to understand about predictive and diagnostic analytics, finally by preparing some reporting, right? So whatever the standard reports, right? So whatever the forms and reports we want to create, all these things can be created wherein we are extracting the data from the data from different data resources. Especially these are the data which is relating to the healthcare data, because these electronic health records, electronic medical records, clinical systems, these are the different systems which normally uses for uses in the healthcare information, because the data extraction for these three purposes which normally we use. So for this purpose, we require this ETL and all everything, this process and all everything, understanding over ETL process, knowledge over the ETL process is one of the key and prominent thing which is required, especially for role of a business analyst team and all that. This is all about this session video. So if you have any questions, if you have any queries, all that, followed by any coaching as well as training needs, please reach out to the contact details, which will be posted in below to this video. Thank you.